About a year ago, I did a project where I created a solar tracking battery-backed fountain, and I had a lot of fun developing the electronics for the tracking system. So earlier this year, this company called Poposoap, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, reached out and asked me if I would do an open box video about one of their products, which you see here. And I said, sure, but I'll take a while to get around to it. At the time they sent it to me, the ground was frozen, the water was frozen, and it took me a while to just get around to this. But now I've popped this open and looked at everything, and I'm quite delighted with this, so let me get into it with you. So as I told them, I don't really do open box videos, but through the magic of video, I can get through that, and here we are, it's open. There's the solar panel with the battery mounted to the back. As you can see right there, that big module is the battery. So that stores power to power the fountain when the sun goes down or shadows cross over it. That's the mounting post for the solar panel, and this, let's see, this probably plugs on to that like that to hold the solar panel. Sure, yeah, that looks good. And so here are some pipes that go onto the pump. That doesn't go in like that. Oh, it goes in like that. And then that plugs onto that. So now I have an extension and a nozzle. This is the LilyPad floating pad, so you can float the pump, just like many other solar fountains. And these are all the different heads that you can get. So they just plug right in, not quite like that. Let's see. Well, that one does. No, wait a minute. That one does. Yeah, so then you can change the heads out onto those extender tubes, apparently. Looks good. Now the plastic tube would allow you to connect a hose right onto the pump and then bring the hose out, say through, say a stone frog mouth or something like that, some other architectural detail. A lot of different nozzles here. I'm going to have to try all of these out. Some are really interesting looking from the pictures I've looked at. Yeah, there's a little tiny nozzle there that shoots straight up. Now this looks like the clip that goes onto the solar panel. And it's adjustable angle. I didn't loosen it enough. There we go, right? So that can set to different angles. And looks like, let's see, it should just slide and snap into there. Kind of, let's see, I wasn't pushing it hard enough maybe. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so then you can set that angle and lock it in. You want the solar panel pointing directly at the sun, so you need to adjust that angle basically to your latitude. So if you're at 45 degrees latitude, you want to tilt it to 45 degrees. That's a nice looking waterproof connector with a locking ring on it that connects the panel to the pump, and there's plenty of wire here. I think there's 12 feet of wire. That's excellent. Off to the right there you see the instructions, which are actually quite well written. So I want to start by just using one of the nozzles, and I'm particularly intrigued by this nozzle. It creates that weird sort of glass dome effect. And it has an adjustment on it, so you can tighten it up and it goes kind of a different shape, and then you can loosen it up a bunch and it gets smaller, and loosen it up even smaller. So I find that kind of intriguing. I like that. And of course this is using the LilyPad floating feature for the pump. So now I have the pump stuck to the bottom of my tub here, and it has little suction feet, so it sticks it down. But below the surface, of course, it couldn't put the spray out, but then the moment it gets above the water level, it does, and as you can see it's just sitting there burbling. If I pick it up and take it all the way out though, you see it automatically shuts off, so it won't run dry and ruin the pump. Now I have to jiggle it there to get it to start for some reason, but I think it would normally start by itself. I don't know. That's the idea. So there it is. Yeah, I give it a bump there and it's running. So now I'm trying with the hose there to see if I could get it to come out and maybe squirt across from the side. And it's not starting for some reason. I've got the power cord connected. Everything seems okay there. Oh, maybe it's because the pump is sitting on its side. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so maybe the pump has some kind of automatic shut-off if it's tilted over. I don't know. But that makes a nice flow there. So if you routed that through, say, a little frog mouth or something like that, that would work nicely. So now I've just connected the pump up to a thin nozzle here that's got like 4 or 5 little holes in it, and that comes up really high. That's like 2.5, 3 feet high. That looks cute. Now this is no nozzle basically, so it's just coming straight out on the extension tubes, and I've got it raised up on a brick to get it high. This is another higher, smaller nozzle that comes up way high. I had to actually move the camera up. One of the spray nozzles here, that looks great. comes up pretty high, as you can see. I'm worried that that would overspray and eventually lose water out of the fountain, so neither of these are particularly suitable for my little tub here, but in a larger pond it would be great. So would this. This is beautiful. Look at that. Nice little thin spray. And back to the little glass dome effect there. Now I'm showing you here that if I shadow this solar panel, it doesn't shut off right away because it's running on the battery. So throughout the day, if clouds go by, whatever, dusk into the dusk, it'll keep going for well into the evening. This is my favorite one, so this is what I'm going to leave it at, and I think that's really suitable for my specific little tiny tub here. Larger fountains, larger ponds, all work well. It particularly has a very good flow. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm kind of impressed with the large number of parts that came with this kit and the length of the wire between the panel and the pump and all the other accessories. This is a very well thought out kit and the instructions are well written. The only thing I would say against it is that the battery is not removable or replaceable on the solar panel. So if someone threw that away, it would go in a landfill, and that would be a bad thing because that lithium battery should not be disposed of in a landfill. But other than that, everything's great.